Hello and welcome to today's cooking video. These are the ingredients we're going to be using today. All the full recipe and ingredients can be found in the description. So we're going to start by peeling and chopping our potatoes. We want to chop them into 2.5 centimetre chunks, ready for boiling. So here's what the potatoes should look like once they're chopped, and what we're going to do is place them in a pot and fill it up with cold water. We're then going to put that on the hob and bring it to a boil as shown. So next we're going to zest our lemon. Here I'm using a microplane grater, but you can use whatever sort of grater you have available to you. And we're going to be zesting this lemon onto a plate so it's easier to transfer into our potatoes. We can also slice lemon wedges, ready for when we serve our fish cakes. You're then going to measure out your milk in a jug. You're best using a measuring jug like this that has some sort of measurement scale on the side, making sure we get it accurate. And then we're going to be using this milk for poaching our fish. So here you can see your fish in the pot with the milk and also a bay leaf to add a little bit of flavour while we poach. While we're simmering that, we're going to mash our potatoes. Here I'm using a potato ricer, but you can use a standard potato masher if that's all you have available to you. Here I am mashing the potatoes into the pot. And once your potatoes are mashed, your fish should be just about ready. So what you're going to do is carefully take out the fish and place in a bowl. And then you're going to discard the bay leaf and you're going to leave that milk aside, as this is going to be used for our sauce later on. And with the fish, I recommend using 2 forks or a fork and a spoon to remove the skin from the fish, which will leave you with these nice fish flakes ready to be incorporated into the mashed potatoes. So the next step, we're going to put the fish in with our mash and we're going to incorporate that fish using a spoon, making sure everything's really well incorporated. So here's the finished product. Once you've done that, preheat the oven to 200 degrees. And now for the fun part, we're going to be shaping our fish cakes. I recommend doing this with your hands, just ensuring your hands are clean beforehand. And you want to make them into hockey puck shapes, making sure they're fairly well compacted as well. Once you've done that, you should be left with the following fish cake shapes, ready to be breaded. So you're going to set up your breading station as shown, with flour, then egg, then breadcrumbs. And you're going to drop the fish cake into the flour. You're going to be really delicate with it. You want to try and keep that fish cake intact while we do this. So once we've got even flour coating, we're going to put it into the egg next, making sure again we've got even coating all the way around. And then once it's got the egg fully covered, we're going to put it in the breadcrumbs. And we should be left with 2 fish cakes as shown. So now for the frying. You're going to preheat a non-stick frying pan with a little bit of oil. And then you're going to place the fish cakes in once the pan's up to temperature. We're looking for a really nice golden brown colour on these fish cakes. A little tip is to flip the fish cakes regularly. This will allow for even colour on all sides and make sure you don't burn the fish cake at all. Once the fish cakes have been frying for 3 minutes, place in a preheated oven for around 8 minutes. Now onto our sauce. We're going to start off by making a roux, which involves slowly melting some butter in the pan. We're then going to slowly add our flour, spoonful by spoonful, making sure we fully incorporate the flour as we go. For the roux, we want to make sure we have the consistency of wet sand before we add our milk in. So as you can see, just adding a little bit of flour, making sure it's fully incorporated before we add the next spoonful of flour in. Once we've got that wet sand consistency, we're going to add our milk in slowly, and we should be left with the following sauce. It should have a nice glossy consistency. And then the final step for the sauce is to add in our parsley and stir in thoroughly. For our spinach, place in a pot or a frying pan, place in a medium heat and allow to wilt. This may seem like a lot of spinach, but it will wilt down to quite a small amount, as you can see. And now we're ready for plating. I recommend putting a good amount of that sauce over the fish cakes, and then finishing off with our spinach on the side. And there you have it, the finished product. This is the perfect meal to make if you have a little bit of extra time and you want to make something really nice for yourself, or you have guests you want to impress. Thanks for watching this video tutorial. I hope you enjoyed the video and that you enjoy making this recipe. A reminder that all the recipe details and ingredients are in the description below. We would love to hear your feedback for this video. If you have any feedback, please put it in the form in the description and let us know how we got on. Bye for now.